Welcome, everyone. We'll get started in about a minute. We're just letting everyone in from the waiting room. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the June ASAM Technical Assistance Series. We will be getting started as everyone pops in. A reminder today that this session is being recorded for training and record-keeping purposes. By participating in this session, you are consenting to the recording, retention, and use. At any time, if you have a question or comment, feel free to place that in the chat, and we will respond to you as soon as possible. If you would like to ask your question or comment verbally, please note that we're going to have a live Q&A at the end, and you will be able to raise your hand and ask the presenters questions. In addition, please note that by doing so, you are consenting to the recording, retention, and use of your statements recorded as part of this session. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Please feel free to submit questions to the resource account listed in the PowerPoint 7 days in advance of the monthly scheduled call. Suggestions for future topics can be submitted to the same account. We welcome any suggestions that you may have that would be helpful or topics for the ASAM call. We will not be scheduling a July TA call. The call will resume in August. Alignment of the ASAM criteria is required of treatment providers that receive funding for providing treatment services under the agreements with single county authorities and managed care organizations. DDAP strongly suggests reading the ASAM text in its entirety, attending the ASAM training, and review the resources available through the DDAP documents and training and on our website. I'll start by introducing our presenters today. Verlina is going to get us started. Verlina Velasquez Millings is the Director of Programs at the Gatehouse. Our second presenter, and we are still keeping an eye out for him, is Vincent Argento at Gateway Rehab and Greenbrier Treatment Centers. Our third presenters will be from Gaudenzia. We have Karen Plowman, Director of Prevention Services at Gaudenzia, and Jessica Kinnerman, Director of Special Projects at Gaudenzia Addiction Treatment and Recovery Services. The learning objectives for our call today will be incorporating family services into residential levels of care, benefits of the involvement of loved ones in clients' treatment, and specialty programming, pros of family engagement in SUD residential treatment, integration of ASAM into family services, individualized and dimensions considered, and client-driven. Use of MI skills in family programming, and use of multidimensional assessment, interdisciplinary approaches in family engagement and SUD treatment. I'm going to hand it off to Verlina to get started.
Okay, thank you, Brandy. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to just give an overview of our family engagement at the Gatehouse. So Brandy, if you want to go to the next slide, please. So the Gatehouse, we currently offer several programs, but today specifically, I'm going to talk to you about our 3 residential settings. So we offer 3 residential programs that were formerly known as halfway houses. Now they're clinically managed low-intensity residential services according to ASAM. So we have our Gatehouse Lidditz program, which is an all-males facility. We currently just increased our census at the Lidditz program. So we have a census of 29 clients there. Our Gatehouse Mountville facility was previously called Gatehouse for Women. Now that is a males facility as well, and we hold up to 27 clients there. Gatehouse Marietta is our newest facility. We opened that facility up maybe now about 2 years, and we hold up to 30 female clients there. All of our clients is the adult population, and as you can see, they're all throughout the county of Lancaster. Next slide, please. So this is a picture of our newest facility, Gatehouse Marietta, and we operate in a three-phase system. So our average length of stay is about 90 days. Sometimes, they stay a little longer based on clinical necessity. So once they're there in the orientation phase, that lasts for typically the first 30 days that they're there. Now, during that time, they're becoming acclimated to the program. They're learning about, just all the rules and regulations that we have. They're getting connected with a primary care physician in the community, switching over insurances. Um, we're transporting them to meetings during that phase of treatment as well. Now, once they've been there about 23 days, if they have gotten a sponsor, then they are eligible for early job search. So in phase two is when, of course, they've been there after 30 days. They're now looking for work, are able to work while they're there, and they're also eligible for two 12-hour passes. Phase three, at that point, they are working, they're preparing for transitioning to either a recovery house or getting their own apartment or going back home. And during that phase is when they're eligible for two 23-hour passes. Uh, Next slide, please, Brandy. So we offer at minimum one family session per month, and that's a picture of our Gatehouse Lidditz facility. And the client identifies who they want to participate in their family sessions. It can be their parents, significant other, even sometimes their sponsor. So it just depends who they identify as a support person. Next slide, please. So our family education program, it runs on 3 modules, and our topics are codependency and self-care, family roles, and families in recovery. And that's really relapse prevention, if you will. Now, these modules, we offer them virtually since COVID, and it works out pretty well. So the way that we facilitate it is we rotate it between all 3 locations. So counselors would facilitate one of these modules, let's say every 9th Saturday. So it runs from 12 to 1:30, and again, it is offered virtually. We also offer the modules in Spanish as well. And then, of course, there's times where family members can't attend. So we'll email them the modules with the pre and post test to make sure, if they have any questions or that they understood the material. Sometimes we also use the modules in family sessions as well. So it can be done, over the phone, virtually in a session, but typically is offered every Saturday throughout, different locations. Next slide, please. So we listed some pros and cons here to our family engagement. One of the things that we noticed during our QI meetings is when we have clients who do have family support, we've noticed an increase in our completion rates. Now, we do still have some clients, of course, who do not have any family participation. They may have burned all their bridges. Family members don't want to participate. But we really try to encourage the family engagement. Um, the other thing that we do that I forgot to mention was in order for them to have the 12 or 23-hour passes, the family member has to attend all of the modules and at least one family session before they can do the 12-hour or 23-hour pass. So we also notice when families are involved, there's an increase in motivation for our clients. Now, some of the cons that we've noticed, more so with our female clients, is a lot of times they're involved in abusive relationships or relationships where their partners are still using. So it's really, I mean, we try to do the whole motivational interviewing, but sometimes, there's really not much we could do. And because, we do try to be client centered, a lot of times we see that, their discharge plan may be, to go back home to that abusive partner. And, we also see some family members that tend to be, enabling, codependent. So those are some of the cons to it. However, even though that exists, it still gives us an opportunity again to, educate our clients, help them to make the best decisions for themselves. But in the end, there's really not much we can do. Um, okay. I think that's it for me, Brandy.
Thank you, Verlina. Moving on to Gateway, we did have Vincent as a presenter in place of Laura, and I'm not sure that we have Vincent on the call at this time.
Brandy, he's on, but I cannot find him in the list. It's a 412 number to unmute him. It's ending in 8900. Can you talk, Vincent? You're on mute and we cannot find you in the list. Your phone number's not showing up for some reason.
I'll let you work on that. I'll continue with the Gateway Rehabilitation Center family programming. I'm going to read the notes that they had submitted for their family programming. Their philosophy is that family programming is vital to the success of the patients that they serve, and it is an important part of the mission to help all affected by addictive diseases to become healthy in body, mind, and spirit. On occasion, it is the family who are affected the most. All patients in residential and outpatient services are eligible for family programming. Patients identify their family members and/or identified supports for family programming. We limit the age to 10 for family group sessions. For children or younger siblings under the age of 10, we will make special arrangements for family programming for them. We have found that many times the content for these groups and what is discussed by the group members can be difficult for anyone younger than 10. All family members and supports are vetted by the clinical case manager or a therapist before being allowed to participate in programming. We do this for the safety of the programs. We also do this to engage the family members. Sometimes we have family members that do not want to participate in family programs for various reasons. Our clinical staff work to talk to the family to understand their hesitation and help them identify the benefits with them and their family member in treatment to participate.
Brandy.
Yes.
I believe he's unmuted now. Sorry about that.
No problem. Vincent, are you there? I'm just going to keep going. If the family is completely against it, we will talk to the patient to see if they have another support person or persons that they want to invite to participate. We offer family group and visitation throughout the week. In order to be eligible for visitation, they do require that the family is present for the group session. If a therapist, patient, or family member support identifies the need for individual family sessions, they will make accommodations to do this. They have created their own curriculum and they use it in all levels of care. Gateway divides the units in residential to make the groups more manageable and can individualize more. All male units are together, female co-ed unit and co-occurring unit are together. And then all female units also stick together. So there's several units. All programs either have Tuesday evening, Saturday afternoon, or Wednesday evening, Sunday afternoon programming. Part of the program is that in order to have family visitation, the family members identified, their support must attend the family groups. After group, their therapist will individually check in with the family and patient. This is also a time to discuss needs for individual family sessions outside of the family group programming. Vincent, if you happen to come on, you can just let me know when you're here. Clinical Advancement Committee was created with experienced clinicians and management to work on building a strong family program that could be used across the entire organization, including our residential and outpatient programs. The goals that Gateway created align with the mission and help to guide the creation of the topics and modules included in the curriculum. They aim for the following in their programming: demonstrate that participation is beneficial to the treatment process, educating on the disease of addiction and the ongoing process of recovery, providing a caring and respectful environment that fosters the understanding of the disease of addiction and its impact. Rolling 12-week structure to support consistent messaging, and all topics have modules included, but the clinicians do not need to use the provided modules. As long as the group that they have wants to, they want to facilitate in the family programming works within the broad topic for that week, they can use the group topic as they want. All modules were developed to initiate an interactive experience and are not lecture-based. Handouts are used to help guide conversation with family members and patients. In aligning with ASAM, we made the following changes to our family program. Gateway used to only allow immediate family members to participate in programming. Now they allow anyone that the patient identifies as their family or support system. This could be a sober friend, an employee, a roommate, etc. They complete their assessment on a patient-to-patient basis when they are first admitted. They have a special focus on the family unit and the recovery living environment. This helps to identify where the therapist can individualize the family program. Gateway is client-driven in the approach to family programming. If a patient is not willing to participate when they first enter treatment, they take that lead, but will use MI strategies to help them see the importance of having a family and support systems involved. Gateway uses MI in various ways. First, when meeting with a patient and discussing family programming, especially when they are resistant to it. When first talking to family members and support systems, especially when they are participating in the family programming, and also to elicit change talk, not only individually, but also as a family unit. Gateway uses all different strategies involving MA, including affirmations, reflections, empathy, summarizing, etc. I'll pass it off to Gaudenzia, Karen and Jessica.
Good morning, everybody. So my name is Jessica Canterman. I am Director of Special Projects for Gaudenzia, and we also have Karen Plowman, who is Director of Prevention Services. And so we are going to talk about Gaudenzia's residential treatment for women and children with a focus specifically on the parenting education that we provide. So, despite evidence that substance use disorders impact the entire family and there's an increasing overlap between SUD treatment and child welfare, the dominant approach to treatment to SUDs is highly individualistic. This is evidenced by the fact that, according to SAMHSA and the Medicaid and CHIP Payment and Access Commission, 70% of women entering SUD treatment have children, yet only 2% of treatment facilities nationally provide residential beds for patients' children and accept Medicaid. Unfortunately, this presents a significant barrier to care for women who wish to enter and complete treatment while also preserving relationships with their children. Gaudenzia has been a pioneer in this space. Karen is representing Vantage here today. Vantage was actually the first women and children's program in the state of Pennsylvania, opened in 1979. So today we have grown to offer a total of 9 programs across 5 Pennsylvania counties. Now we offer at a 3.5 level of care. We have Winner in Philadelphia, Kindred House in Chester County, Vantage in Lancaster, House of Healing in Erie, Fountain Springs in Schuylkill County, and then at the 3.1 level of care, we have House of Healing in Erie, Hutchinson Place in Philadelphia, and New Destiny in Schuylkill County. We serve over 800 women and 250 children each year. Now, consistent with the objectives of DDAP's Women and Women and Dependent Children, which was founded in, I believe, June of 2021, our programs prioritize addressing and treating the needs of the family as the unit and providing evidence-based parenting interventions, as well as delivering care to the children and improving collaboration with other providers serving this population. We can go on to the next slide. Thank you. So, with the shift to ASAM, there is a lot of, there's an impetus for the treatment of women with children as a special population. Crucially, the ASAM criteria recognizes parents and prospective parents receiving treatment concurrent with their children as a special population. And within Chapter 8 of the ASAM criteria book, they outline a whole host of recommendations and requirements for serving this population. Now, two things we'll be focusing on today is the evidence-based therapies.
What should we be telling her?
Sorry. So evidence-based therapy is designed to improve and implement parenting and attachment skills, and interventions designed to develop and improve a basic understanding of child development. So the need for parenting interventions, right? So we understand that parental SUD can have significant and wide-ranging effects on children. When compared to their non-substance using counterparts, there's research to suggest that parents with substance use disorders have more significant parenting difficulties, including greater parenting stress, decreased attentiveness and engagement, and more authoritarian disciplinary practices. So Gaudenzia and Karen can speak more to this, is we've deliver a range of targeted parenting interventions that are skills-based and attachment-based. So our Celebrating Families and non-traditional parenting interventions, as well as 24/7 Dads, are skills-based interventions that we provide to both mothers and fathers. And then our Circle of Security program is an attachment-based intervention. Now, Circle of Security and 24/7 Dads were recently added to our repertoire through a grant we received through the National Association of City and County Health Officials that we piloted at Vantage and are looking to expand to our other programs based on the successes there. And at this point, I will turn it over to Karen to talk specifically about Circle of Security and 24/7 Dads. Thank you.
And we can go to the next slide. Thanks, Jessica. So as Jessica mentioned, Circle of Security is something new for us, and it's new in a couple of different ways. And new in the fact that through the grant, we were able to purchase it and be trained in it. And it's also new because it's an attachment-based parenting intervention, which is something different than Celebrating Families is skills-based, and that, if you're interested, comes through the National Association of Children of Alcoholics program organization. And then non-traditional parenting interventions is also skills-based, and it focuses on the intersection of trauma and parenting. So those two we have been doing for a while. This final based on this slide here, the Circle of Security is one of our new ones, and it's attachment based. And it specifically looks at, excuse me, parents of children 4 months to 5 years old. And we have had some really wonderful experiences with that. It's 8 weeks long, and it's designed to help parents build their attachment between themselves and their children. And it is, I would say, probably new to 99%, pardon me, 99% of our parents to look at attachment. And we know that substance use disorder can inhibit attachment. Not that parents don't love their children, but sometimes they're not emotionally available. So this assists the parents to begin to understand their children's emotional needs and the cues that they're giving them. support their children to regulate their emotions, and then enhance the development of their children, and I would say also the parents' self-esteem. So if you would advance the slide, please. So in that, we have been running Circle of Security groups now for over a year, just over a year, and we utilize their pre and post surveys with the participants that we have. And you can see the numbers there are quite significant in their reduction in parenting stress, in being able to understand their children's needs, and ways to repair relationships, which is something that a lot of our parents really desire to do. And so in that, it's one of the keys to Circle of Security is being able to reflect on your parenting and reflect on what your child is trying to show you by their behaviors. We know that all behaviors are purposeful. So you can see there with the quotes that we have at the bottom that the participants have really enjoyed it and felt that it was something that they really benefited from coming away from the class and feeling that they had gained something new and that it was helpful to them. Next slide, please. So the other program we wanted to spotlight, which is something specifically for fathers, and we're very excited to be able to provide this. If anybody knows Cadenza Advantage, it's something that, you know, people think of women and parents, mothers specifically, but we wanted to also do something for fathers. And so we began piloting 24/7 dads last year. And although we have not had the number of fathers that we had hoped to, we certainly have gained a lot of understanding of how this program works, and also new ways to try to connect with other programs to be able to gain a grouping of fathers. So the curriculum, and if you go to the National Fatherhood Initiative, you'll find that there are more, you know, programs specifically for if it's incarcerated fathers, or just a variety of programs that are based on 24/7 dads, but expand into special populations. We had some of our male staff people, not here specifically at Vantage, but in a couple of our other programs, were trained in it, and now they're going to begin to utilize it with fathers in other communities. And our fathers from Vantage, since we had such low numbers of people that were able and interested, we're going to connect them with other groups within the Cadenza system. So I think there might be one more slide. Let's see. Yes. So we are very excited to do that and to increase the number of dads, because the research is out there that shows that fathers and father figures are just so important in our children's lives. So I love the first quote there. Fathers are often a forgotten about population in the recovery world. This group has allowed them to be seen and heard. And for the fathers that participated, I really believe that they gained they gained a lot as far as their confidence in parenting, as well as some more skill-based kinds of things as well. And so we were very happy to be able to provide that. And again, if you're interested, look into National Fatherhood Initiative, and you'll be able to find more information about that. I think that's the last one. So thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you to everyone that's presented. We'll move on. I believe there was a hand raised and start the Q&A.
It looks like it's a Sabrina.
I just unmuted you, Sabrina, if you care to ask your question. If anyone else has a question, you can put it in the chat, raise your hand. Like we have a quiet group today. You're getting off easy. So for a recap for anyone who has just been admitted, we completed our presentation on family services and residential treatment. We're now accepting questions for the presenters in the chat or by raising your hand. We aren't receiving any questions. Your presentation was thorough and it was great, and we thank all of you. Oh, here we go. Cindy put in the chat, do you feel the other evidence-based programs, parenting programs, are able to be applied in an outpatient setting? And she did not identify any specific presenter, so it's up for grabs. Would any of our presenters care to answer? Do you feel the other evidence-based programs, parenting programs, are able to be applied in an outpatient setting? So maybe that'll go directly to Gaudenzi Advantage for the parenting program.
I would say, I guess my experience has been residential mostly, but I think you give it a try. I think with the advent of COVID and people being more adjusted to Zoom, I know that in Lancaster County, program called Kobe's Family Services switched over to doing their family programs on a Zoom basis. And they said that they found it very helpful to parents to be able to do it on a virtual platform, just because people don't have to find childcare, they don't have to travel. So I think it's possible to do it that way. And I also think, coming together certainly to do a parenting program on a weekly basis is helpful as well for the camaraderie that develops when you're together in a room compared to on Zoom. I think it's worth trying either way. And definitely evidence-based programs are, what a lot of entities are looking for, as far as, maybe they're participating in child welfare, or they have another reason that they're taking a parenting program besides their own internal motivation. I definitely think it works on an outpatient basis.
Thank you. Cindy said thank you. We don't have any more questions at this time with either a hand raised or questions in the chat. So I'll thank all of you for presenting and giving your time today. Thank you so much. And we will go ahead and wrap up our call at this time. Our next TA call, again, we are not holding one in July. There will be the next one on August 7th. And the topic is case management. So thank you, everyone, and have a great Monday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Romina. Thanks, Jessica.